The problem we're facing today is that a lot of our institutions are cracking. They're cracking at the edges. Now, that's evident to all of us these days because nothing more than the finance industry is severely cracked. Okay? But it's sometimes worthwhile to think about the problem more broadly. And in particular, I think there's 4 reasons why things are potentially going awry. Now, the first reason is these institutions are out of scale. Okay, they have simply grown too large to be able to function the way they've been designed. Okay, and the second reason is that they've become monocultures. And what a monoculture means is that every organization acts the same way. So what infects one infects them all. The third reason is that they become opaque. And that is to say, in part, because of their size, they simply are not understandable by anyone, the people who use them and often the people that are inside of them. And the fourth reason is that they've lost their mission. Okay? They have gone past their design point. Now, how do we fix that? Consider building institutions that are within scale. Consider building ones that are transparent and participatory. Consider making organizations that are diverse as opposed to monocultures. And then consider scaling, because scaling is perhaps the most difficult problem because there is a natural tendency to grow. So if you look around in the laboratory, you'll see that we approach the scaling problem very often by building communities of communities and building organizations that through their participation, through their engagement, through the extended control and thereby extended understanding of them, they grow organically, naturally, in ways that retain the mission and in ways that allow people to contribute and understand at every point. You can see that in the work that we do in health and media, where the focus of that work is on the engagement of people in the active participation in designing what health and wellness is, not simply in treating themselves. You can see that in the communications group, where telephony is not something done by carriers, but rather it's something done as a social event among people. Civic media, we're engaging people in becoming newspapers on behalf of a community, in building that community and building the engagement of that community and scaling it past your individual view into a view that encompasses, includes, and is understandable by other people. Consider our cities. As Bill Mitchell does, 50% of the world lives in cities today, and that number is likely to grow, but they've become out of scale. They've lost their ability to function as a community. In the lab here, we rethink them from the ground up, both in terms of their position in the world and in terms of people's position within them. So what's the message for you? The message for you is to understand that scaling is the difficult part, but it's one component of many. Equally important is the diversity, the transparency, the clarity, and the engagement of your community in whatever industry or endeavor you're engaged in.